What's going on, everybody? It's Zach Jedi Otaku. It's time for RWBY because I have to see what Crow is gonna tell Ruby about this episode. Last time on RWBY, we had Crow coming in to save Ruby and Team Ranger from Tyrion and knock his butt out. And Tyrion got his tail cut off, and Crow got hurt. Ended with what's your favorite fairy tale. We're going to hear about what's going on with him. We're going to probably learn about his sunless this episode. Some people are telling me in the comments that's what's going to happen, and I can guess by your various comments that he has some kind of probability manipulation that gives him luck. Thanks, guys, for the spoilers. I really don't like when you guys give me that kind of stuff. Try to keep that stuff to a minimum, but I loved everything that was going on. I'm very excited for it. Let's just get into it. Ready, play. Alright, let's get into it.
Really? No questions?
Of course we have questions. This is just a lot to take in.
Sure, of course.
So these maidens,
Okay.
they're powerful fighters
Maidens.
that don't need dust to use magic.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there are 4 of them?
Yep. Always.
Which means that whenever one of them dies, the power transfers to someone, a female, that they care about?
Whoever was in their thoughts last. Important distinction. Best option, it's someone we can trust. Regardless, their souls become combined, in a way.
And that's what you were trying to do to Pyrrha,
Okay, like Ospen.
the night the tower fell. You were trying to turn her into one of them.
I think you, Ender, or Sneaky Dexter, I
Previous
think,
fall
was talking
maiden,
about that.
Amber, had
Thank
been
you guys for
attacked.
talking in the comments.
She was young, inexperienced.
Amber?
And her assailant, who we now know as Cinder,
Okay.
somehow managed to steal some of her power, but not all of it. We were afraid that if we didn't do something, the rest would go to her as well.
So you forced it on Pyrrha.
We didn't force anything. We explained the situation and gave her a choice, and she chose. You were there. You heard her.
Mm-hmm.
That guy, Tyrion. Why was he after me?
Well, you definitely painted a target on your back with what you did at Beacon.
Yeah,
I
of
told
course.
you having silver eyes is a rare trait. And the fact that you're someone that was able to use them seems to have upset some very powerful people. Not many people know about the silver eyes, but those that do aren't very happy that one has surfaced.
Okay.
That's why I've been keeping an eye on you. Wanted to make sure you were safe. All of you.
We're gonna learn about John's
Then
history,
Why
maybe?
not just travel with us? It seems like that would have been way easier.
He was using you as bait.
Look, I wouldn't put it like that. It's complicated.
What is all of this? Ruby's being hunted. The schools are being attacked. All for what? What is the point of all of this? Will you just tell us what's going on?
Would you sit down? You're stressing me out, kid.
The animation is beautiful in this episode right here.
Not many people are super religious these days.
Legend.
This world's been around for a long time. Long enough that people have created dozens of gods.
Uh-huh.
But if you believe Ozpin, 2 of them are actually real.
Who are they? Tell me.
They were brothers.
Brothers?
The older sibling, the god of light, found joy in creating forces of life. Meanwhile, the younger brother, the god of darkness, spent his time creating forces of destruction. As you can imagine, they both had pretty different ideas about how things should go.
Right.
The older one would spend his days creating water, plants, wildlife. And at night, his
Right.
brother would wake to see all the things that the elder had made and become disgusted. To counteract his brother's creations, the god of darkness brought drought, fire, famine, all that he could do to rid Remnant of life.
Remnant. Okay.
Life always returned. So one night, the younger brother
Oscar's a
met
farmer.
something that shared his innate desire to
This
destroy
looks like
everything and everything.
okay. It's made the Grim.
Creatures of Grimm.
The black also looks like Salem.
The older brother had finally had enough. Knowing that their feud couldn't last like this forever, he proposed that they make one final creation together. Something they could
The
both
wizard?
be proud of. Their masterpiece. Younger brother agreed.
The moon.
This last great creation would be given the power to both create
Silver
and
eyes.
destroy. It would be given the gift of knowledge so that it could learn about itself and the world around it.
Man.
And most importantly, it would be given the power to choose. To have free will to take everything it had learned
Okay.
and decide which path to follow. The path of light or the path of darkness.
Man.
And that is how humanity came to be.
Right. Okay.
But what does that have to do with us?
Uh-huh.
Well, that's the kicker. See, the four gifts to mankind, knowledge, creation, destruction, and choice, aren't just metaphorical. Each of them exists in a physical form, left behind by the gods before they abandoned Remnant, and each of them is extraordinarily powerful. If someone were to collect all four, they'd be able to change the world, and that's exactly what the enemy wants.
The maidens? Or is it the
Watchmen
relics?
Academies were created to train generations of humanity's protectors, but they also serve another purpose: guarding the relics.
The relics.
When Ozpin's predecessor founded the schools, he built them around the relics to act as a fortress. Not only would they be easier to defend, but they would be constantly surrounded by trained warriors. The hope was that hiding the relics would keep mankind from using them against itself.
Okay.
And, of course, keeping them out of her reach.
Salem's Reach.
So, yeah, there's that.
So who's Salem then?
Her. You mean Salem?
Yeah, Sailor and
That's right.
Osprey have their own
Not
connection.
much is known about her, and quite frankly, that's not what matters. What matters right now is that she wants the relics. And if she gets them, it's not going to end well.
So okay, so and then there's another picture of the moon. There's something about the moon. I think Salem's from the moon.
You know, you can always go
We're
in
going
and
to Blake.
say hi.
I don't want to bother him.
A father's never too busy for his daughter.
Not all of my friends would agree with you on that.
Here,
What? Where are you going?
you've never been very talkative, but that boy you brought home loves to run his mouth. I want to hear more about the adventures of Team RWBY.
I like Mom a lot.
Is that you, dear?
Why are you shaking about your dad?
Hey, Dad.
Blake. Well, this is a pleasant surprise.
What's up, Hohenheim?
Please, come sit. Don't worry, I've got it. Sit down, sit down.
I don't want to keep you if you're...
Nonsense. I've been cooped up in here all day. You still take sugar, right?
Oh, actually,
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine.
Oh, here, take this one.
No, really, it's no big deal.
You sure?
Positive.
I like this. This is nice.
Old habits, I suppose. Might want to let it cool.
Right.
So, is it
Uncomfortable slightly.
warm in Vale?
Huh?
It just seems like your outfit doesn't cover very much.
It covers plenty.
I mean, a little more armor might help, don't you think?
I'm fine. I don't need armor. I can look after myself.
Okay.
I know you can.
Awkward.
I'm sorry.
Why?
Hmm?
Why would you say that?
Sweetheart, what's wrong? What did I say?
How can you still love me after what I did?
What?
Blake. Your mother and I will always love you.
You were right. I shouted at you and yelled at you, but you were right. I called you cowards.
It's okay.
I should have left the White Fang with you and Mom. I should have listened to you, and I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Blake, it's fine. We never held anything against you, and I never feared you would fail. The only thing I ever feared was that you would fall down the wrong path. And I am so proud to see you haven't.
But I did. It was...
And you pulled yourself out. You came back. There aren't many who possess that kind of strength, and even fewer that have the courage to face their demons again. Vale, Mountain Glen.
That's good dad.
You confronted the
Good
White
dad
Fang
right
time
there.
after time.
I didn't do it alone.
No, you didn't. Which is why I wanted to ask you. Why did you leave Vale? Why did you leave your friends behind?
Son?
Oh, whoa! This isn't the bathroom! I'll just be going. Sorry to interrupt this tender family moment.
I really don't like you.
All right. So let's say we believe all of this. There really is this crazy evil being behind these attacks, not just some thugs trying to become powerful. Why doesn't the world know? Why isn't Atlas going after them, or Mistral?
And why aren't we
Mistral.
in more hurry to get to
Okay,
Haven?
Mistral.
Shouldn't we be getting them a message? What if they're next?
The headmaster over there saw what happened at Beacon. He's not dumb. He'll be on his guard. Besides, it takes time to mobilize forces like that. Do you really think they planned out that attack on Beacon overnight? And to answer your question, it's the same reason we keep quiet about the Maidens. If the whole world knew about the relics, about Salem, it would be chaos. We'd have another great war on our hands, and this time, you'd have to fight. Look, I had the same questions too. But old Ozpen always put his foot down. We can't cause a panic. I can't tell you how many times I've heard that. Salem's smart. She works from the shadows, using others to get what she wants, so that when it comes time to place the blame, we can only point at each other. She's trying to divide us, humanity. And so far, she's done a pretty damn good job.
The moon. Humanity. She's not from the Earth. She's from the moon.
All right. So what should we do?
I don't really know. Ozpen has put a lot of trust in the headmasters. Like I said, the schools are an important part of stopping Salem. Atlas is going to be on high alert after the last attack, and Vacuo is, well, Vacuo. It'll be hard to hire thieves and scoundrels to fight against other thieves and scoundrels. Take that.
Right.
Add in the
Look at
fact
the
that
grass.
Cinder and her crew claim to be from Haven, and I think it's likely the next target. So, we're on our way to the headmaster. Haven't heard from him in a while, even before the attack. I'm hoping he has the answers. All right, I think it's time you kids got some sleep.
Uncle Crow,
Yeah?
this is a lot to take in. And it all sounds crazy, but I'm willing to do whatever I can to help. Because I trust you. But why couldn't you trust me? Why couldn't you just travel with us instead of all of this secrecy and...
Look, this has nothing to do with trust. It's a long story, okay?
Seriously? Now you're tired of telling us stories?
Yeah, keep talking. Keep talking, Crow.
Did you know that crows are a sign of bad luck? Old superstition, but it's how I got my name. You see, some people can absorb electricity, and some people can burst into rose petals. And some people are just born unlucky.
Ruby rose petals.
My semblance isn't like most. It's not exactly something I do. It's always there, whether I like it or not. I bring misfortune. I guess you could call me a bad luck charm. Comes in real handy when I'm fighting an enemy. But it makes it a little hard on friends and family.
That's why he's always gone.
Well, you are just a real bundle of help, aren't you?
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Taking a walk.
That's not a good idea.
There's nothing else you want to tell us?
Raven. Crap.
Not tonight.
Fire rolling out.
Ugh. No concept of privacy, no respect for personal space.
I'm sorry, okay? Ow! I'm sorry!
Ugh.
Look, I promise it was important. I needed to find you to talk to you.
What, son? What could be so important?
I was talking to your mom and she said something weird about the White Fang.
I'm stopping you right there.
But
I told you. I'm not here to fight the White Fang. I'm not here to fight anyone. I'm here to rest, to figure things out, and to see my family.
your mom said White Fang members don't wear masks in Menagerie, but I saw one at the market yesterday. I even got a picture.
Son.
Look, I'm trying to help.
I don't want your help.
A freaking ninja?
A spy.
But why would... Hey, wait!
What's happened?
The White Fang is evil, I totally called it, and I'm bringing your daughter back!
Oh god, son. God. He's such like a real person like now, like this type of age kind of person.
We should probably get moving.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. This is not good. Not good. Oh no, it's purple poison.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Crow. Rooster Teeth, you keep just ending on frickin' cliffhangers like that. Every episode is a cliffhanger. Jesus. So a few more little pieces of lore. Not a whole lot of fighting, but some good character points. A couple of you have talked about Ospen and Oscar not being so much a Avatar recreation or an Avatar reincarnation, but more of a merging of souls, which is definitely indicated right here with what Ro was talking about. More talk about Silver Eyes. I like John being very tactical in that he was mad and he was able to see through what Crow was talking about and how they were being used as bait. And John being the strategy guy, he was able to recognize what was going on very quickly and very fast. So I think that's a good indication of his leadership abilities. Again, I like this extra piece of lore with the religion and the two gods, the light older brother and the dark younger brother with water and fire. The four gifts: create, destroy, knowledge, and free will. Darkness being where the Grimm comes from. And so that's where I think Salem comes from. I'm pretty sure that Salem comes from the moon. And if we can assume that the sun is the older brother and the moon would be darkness being the younger brother. So that would be the birthplace of Salem, who kind of creates Grimm herself. So I'm thinking that's where she's from, is the moon, and she is part of the god of darkness that was brought down with all the dust that once the moon got shot down, and that's heavenly golden dust, and that's why it doesn't work in space. It only works on Earth. I like that the combination was humankind for the two of them, and that the relics there are four relics that represent those gifts, and we can assume that knowledge, I'm going to guess knowledge or free will was the relic that Osman was holding on to. We have lots of indication of that from the first volume, where the teams had to get their teams in the Emerald Forest, and we had the Black Queen, and then everyone had their knights or whatever pieces they picked up. Ospen has his cane, so maybe that was it. People have talked about or speculated. Might be a good thing. I like the clock tower, something about clocks maybe for me. I love Blake's dad, like just a very good, sweet kind of father. I like that a lot. One of you guys talked to me about Ruby's need for her evolution and the way that she's being written and the way that she has become a lot more jaded and snappy and needing to know information now and not being okay with being left out of the information. She's demanding information, and that she's headed toward this potentially off the rocker, off the beaten path type of character arc, where she just totally leaves the whole team and goes off on her own thing. And I'm thinking that that's going to happen in later volumes, and there's going to be a time skip, and she'll be super badass, and then they'll bring her back into the folds. Again, I kind of figured the whole thing about Crow and his semblance being bad luck because people were giving me spoilers. So please, again, try not to give me any spoilers. I don't watch ahead of time. I just watch them as they come out on YouTube. So please try not to give me any spoilers. Raven being there, or at least one of Raven's familiar, whatever you guys think. I'm pretty sure it's Raven herself being there in that form, being like, hey, you can't talk anymore about this or else I'm going to bring the tribe and crush you kind of deal. There's some kind of hidden meaning behind that log falling out that was on fire out of the pit. I don't know what that could be, but there was some kind of hidden meaning there. And I loved Sun's little outburst. That's a freaking ninja! For that White Fang person, and ending on Crow being poisoned as suspected. So it was a good episode. I enjoyed it a lot. I guess we'll switch back to Weiss and Yang next up. We haven't seen Yang at all for a couple episodes, so probably we're gonna get some training next episode. So that will be fun, I think. And I will be getting to the World of Remnant video that I missed about the Schnee Dust Company. So don't worry, I will be getting to that. Once I record it, I'll just have to wait until it's out on Rooster Teeth's YouTube channel, and then it'll be posted. But I will get to it, and I will watch it for my next thing. And so that way I'll know at least for the next episode. So that's all I have for this episode. Like, comment, and subscribe down below. Let me know what you guys thought of my reaction, my review. And as always, Jedi Utaku, out.